Welcome to Doug's Thoughts. I'm your host, Doug Robbins, and I want to talk to you today about Halloween Ends. More importantly, I want to present to you a an improved version of what I think Halloween Ends could have been. Um, so basically, let's do a little bit of role playing. Let's act like David Gordon Green came to me and said, "All right, this is what we're doing with Halloween. Halloween Ends." And I would look at it and I would say, well, you kind of got two different stories going on. Uh, you got the Corey story, which is the predominant one, and then there's barely a Michael Myers element here, which it's like, dude, we're here for Michael. You know what I mean? Now, he said, yeah, keeping this movie intact as much as possible, but I'll let you add stuff to explain stuff. I'll let you change it up a little bit, but it's got to pretty much keep this direction. So, with that being my mission and the mission statement, I would say, okay, let's start with Tori and Allison. The meet cute stuff with them was fine. Where it really felt like, okay, dude, this, like, I don't know what the fuck you're smoking, David Gordon Green. Why the fuck you thought this would work? But this is where you would probably start needing to explain stuff unless you just want your movie to come off very dirt to dirt and confusing as hell. The minute he says, I killed someone, and, she goes to the house with him, and she's not like running away. And, everybody that defends it, they're like, but they're traumatized and it's like, no, don't give me that fucking bullshit. Uh, you know what I mean? Like being traumatized. Motherfucker says, oh, by the way, I killed someone. And I know we've been dating for a while. And I know your parents were killed and your friends were killed by this maniac. Yeah, I killed someone. Now let's go, go to the house. And she just goes like a dumbass and getting all excited and exhilarated. And it's just, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to go the weird route, like you did, because for you to try to say, I wanted to explore bad boys and motorcycles, I'm like, well, dude, this wasn't, you didn't do that, dumbass. Um, Again, I can't even remember. I can't remember if they were talking about a fan film. I watched so much shit about Halloween and Michael Myers, I can't keep it straight. But it's like, it was some theory, and it might have either been about kills or ends, but they were talking about, people act like Michael Myers is just like Jason, like basically a dumbass in a mask. Um, and they were talking about Michael Myers using his intelligence, and I said, okay, Halloween ends, keeping most of this shit. Because remember, you know, did it still make a profit? Yes. Um, it still made plenty of money, but compared to the other, uh, it made less than Kills in 2018. And people were generally disappointed with it. Yeah, they're the defenders. And again, if you want to keep it as is, just realize, for the rest of us, like if you're going there for Michael Myers to do his thing, um, that's understandable. But again, and again, I'm not saying these are solutions, but the suggestions I'm offering, to me, explain and would make the movie you went with make more sense and better. Because if you're totally going to go out of left field, explain some of the shit and don't hide behind, well, Halloween, Michael Myers is ambiguous. No, dude, you just made this confusing and stupid, and you didn't give us Michael Myers. You know what I mean? Like, watch the fucking thing. It's not really a Michael Myers movie. Now, a lot of people have a problem with how Michael's mask is taken. And again, a very easy, simple, quick fix. Scenario one, you play into that. You keep that scene as is, but what do? Well, then when it's time, because, Michael's acting injured and limp, Michael did that shit on purpose. Michael was waiting to either get his strength up because he was slightly weakened. Um, but now, like I don't quite think you can kill him under this if you still like he was regaining strength, because then I feel like, well, we're still not getting, like, I don't want to say I want to please both fans, but like, number one, either Michael was faking and he let him take the mask because he knew it would lead him to Laurie. Then he snaps Corey's neck, kills him, and you see Michael's real fucking strength against Laurie. Or, and again, he's kicking his ass, he's kicking his ass. And then, because if you still want to play, because Michael does weird shit. And he's always done weird shit. Like the first one, why did he let Richie Castle live when he bumped into him? Um, you know what I mean? And then, now I know he was too young to overpower Danny, who was Judas' boyfriend, but like, I don't know. Those two getting to live never really hit right. Um, but anyway, Michael shows his real strength. And he's killed Corey. He faked being weak. He faked all that shit. Now he's got to escape. He doesn't have to kill Laurie, but they could battle, and he runs off into the night. Um, that's Halloween. That's setting up for another sequel. And then you got Michael stand strong, but you still let Corey get all his cathartic kills, and you still get the tragedy of him going from Corey going from a nice kid to a maniac because of the town helping between that and his mom. uh, making him a monster. Um, and again, if you want Michael to die, another scenario to maybe think about. Anybody that's seen, I think it was Puppet Master 2, where Andre Toulon cuts his own throat and he makes that, because he's, drowning because he didn't think when he's reincarnated as that giant puppet. It's like, yeah, dumbass, you're probably having trouble breathing now because your last vessel, you cut your throat, dipshit. But, because anyway, from the movie, if you guys remember, Michael's wrist gets slit. Um, Neck might have, I don't know, but he basically drowns his own blood with. And it's like, if Michael did that, it would be weird. And if you think of it in a way of Michael, who better to kill Michael than Michael? And if you go and if you keep the David Gordon Green philosophy that he said in the interview about, Michael kind of going off and waiting to die. And I like an animal, which again doesn't make sense without explanation. Um, but like the short film, was it like The Death of Michael Myers, where it talked about the darkness in Michael Myers literally killing him. And I think that is a great. That would make more sense why he's suddenly so fucking weak. Because don't give me that shit about he's weak from the mob fight. Because then why at the end of Halloween Kills, after the mob fight, mind you, like, look how much energy and ferocity after getting past the mob, killing them all, getting past the cops, he goes up to that bedroom and he kills Karen with like great ferocity and just, stabs the fuck out of her. Vicious looking scene. So don't tell me that he's weak from the mob. That's bullshit and that's horseshit. And it's a cop out because you want to kill Michael Myers, which is fine because you did it before in H2O, but you didn't have to fucking cheat. He was pinned under that car. Lori had a free shot to his fucking neck. Guess what? She took the action, chopped his head off, ended Michael Myers in a believable way. Here, you just fucking cheated because I think you were just tired of the franchise that you were given the keys to, which, you're a Hollywood fucking weirdo, so it's not going to matter to you, but to the Halloween fans, this is our series. Go fuck yourself for what you did. And again, Michael killing himself, crushed by his own evil, yada, yada, yada. We go back to the sewer scene. And the sewer scene, remember when Michael, he looks in Corey's eyes, he sees the flashback of all the shit that Corey's done. And if you think, okay, that's Michael putting his energy, putting his evil, again, why would he do that? And again, he wasn't strong enough. He wasn't. He saw this vessel. Because again, if Michael is dying and is weakened, you can point to he's weakened from putting, his evil juice inside the kid, like his spirit and essence. If you look at Halloween 4, when Jamie touches Michael and she becomes possessed and stabs her adoptive mother, Darlene Carruthers. Michael's touch of evil. Um, and then in the book, they talk about Michael, susceptible minds. He can basically influence them, like mentally or telepathically. All this shit. And you're like, well, is that cheesy? Sure. But to me, it'd be a lot better than not knowing why he's suddenly so weak. Because, and again, from the mob, if he didn't kill Karen in the final scene in Kills, then yeah, but he killed her with such ferocity and still had killed the mob after getting fucked up like that. So don't sit there and give me that weak sauce. Um, and again, you could even go with something as simple. Michael was willing himself to die. You know what I mean? Like that darkness, man, where there's no joy, there's no life, there's no light, there's no love, there's no compassion. His family's dead. His parents died in 1965 in that car wreck. His sister's long dead. Uh, in this universe, the David Gordon Green trilogy, it goes from the first one, so it leaves out the second one. So Laurie's not even his sister. You know what I mean? Like Michael has nothing, and being pure evil. Um, there was a college professor, and I can't remember, but it was like these gangsters, and I mean like literal like Bloods and Crip type people that had so much respect for these little kids in like an elementary school, like taking their hat off and like, you know what I mean? Like, and then like Stephen King said something about like, even serial killers or bad guys might help a little old lady across the street. Michael don't have that. So if he's kind of willing himself to die because he's pure darkness, pure evil, and then he kills himself. Um, like, only this monster could do this. But again, if we're remembering Halloween 4 and all we got to do is touch him, I mean, Corey was like choked. But I mean, that's plenty of touching right there. And then if you think now, because I what I would prefer, what I think would help a lot of people get over, like Michael looked weak sauce. Real, super, super simple fix. All you got to do with Michael is hands his mask to Corey, hands the knife. Now, they said it's all bullshit, and they said there were no demonic influences, but long time ago, I'd seen a demonic or a documentary on the ghostly side of Amityville horror that even speculated. I think it was from the Warrens themselves, but basically, he was watching. Ronnie DeFeo was watching an old war movie, and the ghost with black gloves handed him a rifle, told him to kill, and it was a real violent ass ending in Invasion of some war movie, and just handed him the gun and said, "Here you go." And if you do that right, it ends of an influence boy that has been fucked by society. His own, his mom is not only overbearing but is psychotic. According to the book, she accidentally killed her own little brother out of jealousy. Hit his head and fell out of his high chair and died. And she's real super overprotective. Um, Slaps him across the face because he's just trying to get a girlfriend with fucking Allison. You know what I mean? And if Michael, you think of that like the Ronnie DeFeo thing of Michael like a demon, or the bougie boogeyman, which basically a bougie or a bogey is an Irish spirit basically that hangs around gates and shit and fences that like might take your soul on Halloween night, depending on the. I've seen Michael by fences. I've seen him by gates. He's got supernatural powers. Bougie, boogeyman. So now that we got that, now we're cooking with gas. And guess what? And just imagine that image, man. Takes it off, clad him in darkness like Halloween 5. Here's my bloody knife. Here's my mask. Have fun. Go fuck up Lori. And then, like, when him and Allison are doing it, because remember, Michael was present when, what's her face? PJ Souls, Linda, was banging Bob. You guys remember that from the original? He fucking was there in the shadows and they couldn't see him. He could do that with Allison and Corey. And remember, just like if you play Dead by Daylight, Michael Myers, the character, has that zero terror radius. And he was able to do it in the first one. But just imagining, like, just seeing his gnarled ass, creeper ass hands sitting in a rocking chair in the corner or in the closet in the darkness, in the shadows, like watching Corey and Allison, have sex. Because again, this doesn't have to be like The Omen 3, where they're conceiving Dahlia basically for Omen 4. But like, it would be out of character. He's like, okay, why is Michael wanting this? And this could be all part of the smarts of like, if he is triggered by sex, which, people like to read into shit, which is fine, but it's like, Michael's so blank. I don't think Michael gives a fuck. Jason has a reason. Dude was 11 years old. He drowned because the camp counselors were having sex instead of watching him. So that's why Pamela killed those kids at the beginning. And, why Jason's like, all right, motherfucker, don't be humping my campground. Which, after all this, like, knowing Jason's there, if you're still humping his campgrounds, you should be considered suicidal at this point. But just a weird presence of, like, okay, why is Michael watching this? And he's putting up with it because he knows either I'm going to kill myself and Corey will succeed me, and there I'll be able to almost be reborn because here's a 21-year-old vessel again. Where he's possessed, just like Halloween 4 and 5. And he doesn't have to be mute, but like, you still can tell he's possessed by Michael if you want to make another one. Which again, they're going to be like, well, this how, we don't want that anymore. We want to go off away from David Gordon Green. Fine. But I would think this would be your best chance. Still connect Michael. Or, again, they're like, but Michael's getting old. So you got to fucking grow some balls and right now say, oh, by the way, motherfuckers, he is immortal. He is the boogeyman. Then you can let him live. You know what I mean? And it's like, who gives a shit? But I mean, it would just be so much better. And you could have so many more creepy moments. And again, will Michael talk? No. But like Corey kind of freaking out or being like, what now, Michael? Like, you know, when he's like all looking all like weird when he's killing Michelle Dawson. Nurse Deb, that's it. Um, you know what I mean? Like, if he's real, like, get, you know, it could be a Renfield Dracula type relationship. And it's simple. Third scenario, you fucking trade off. You go even 50-50. Michael kills half the people, Corey kills half the people. Um, you don't know which is which. You could do a murder mystery, and then you reveal who did what. The fact is, now these are all solutions to fix what I think was the laziest way to make the movie. Because at least with some of these scenarios I'm giving you guys and girls, this is a little fucking smarter, and this is a little more like, this would make a little more sense because ultimately, yes, we wanted Michael doing his thing, the strong boogeyman, killing somebody. Is he supernatural? Is he not? Blah, blah, blah. But if that's the direction you guys are hell bent on, then I think these solutions, and again, revise them, mix them up. I just think some of these additions would help in at least explaining what the fuck's going on, because this is just lazy. And you can use the excuse of, well, Michael's ambiguous. And it's like, it still makes a lot more sense than this dumb shit. Thanks for watching and have yourselves a great day.